This video contains content that viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of 100 Horrible Ways People Can Die. I'm John.
And I'm Alex. Today's episode we'll be talking about lightning strikes, so it's going to be really electric for you. And what better way to talk about lightning than standing under some high voltage power lines?
So we're here in beautiful town of Tonawanda, New York, in a field where there's a lot of power towers? I don't know. What do you call them? Towers? I don't know. Whatever these things are.
We're not electricians.
But there's a lot of them.
Yep.
And I can hear them humming a little, maybe a little buzzing.
You hear them
I don't
humming?
know, just a little bit of buzzing.
What are they humming?
I don't know. Must be that high voltage, and there's some hawks flying around.
Yep.
None of them are getting electrocuted. I guess you got to touch both to get electrocuted.
Some vultures flying around waiting for us to get electrocuted.
Yeah. So this isn't some place you'd want to stand if there was an actual thunderstorm going on, because it's an open field and electricity, right?
Giant towers everywhere.
Do you think these towers would protect us from lightning?
I don't know. I feel like the fact that they're made out of electricity would probably make it worse, but I'm not a rocket scientist or a lightning scientist or whatever the hell you would call that.
Yeah, maybe the giant metal rods that
Sticking
are
out
around
into the
us, sticking into the ground, would work as lightning rods, and we
Maybe.
would be all right over here.
Maybe the lightning will be shielded because there's a charge here, so it'd be deflected out that way. Who knows?
Well, one thing's
Maybe
for
you
sure.
will, right? Maybe
Well,
we'll
one
do
thing's
it
for
tomorrow.
sure. You don't want to stand underneath the tree in a thunderstorm.
Well, I don't think you want to be standing in a field either. So, what's the verdict? Tree or field? Would you rather die painfully or slowly?
Open field
Mhm.
or tree.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard call.
Would you rather be stuck in an open field or a tree during a lightning storm? I'm
I
gonna
think
go with the
open-
tree.
I'd say open field.
I'm gonna go with the tree because if I don't get hit by lightning, at least I'm not wet.
If there's a tree in the field
Mm.
and you just stay away from it, you'd probably be better off.
So kind of like a decoy. So as long as you're not the tallest thing around you, you'll be
Think so.
okay.
So maybe low crawl through the field.
Here's another age-old question. If you're going to be out in the storm, is it going to be better to hide behind a living tree or a dead tree? Well, we've got a living tree here. Let's ask him. Mr. Tree? Hello? Well, I guess nobody's home right now.
I don't think trees talk, but we
They
can
talk to me in my dreams.
we can use what we can see to say the tree is communicating to us. And I do see
Telepathically?
some broken limbs, so it's not a very well maintained tree.
So you think that if the tree...
I see, if you look there, you can see there's a limb that's still alive, but all the bark's missing. I wonder if that was struck by lightning.
Do you think the tree would be a better conductor or a worse conductor if it had more bark? So a species that has more bark would probably be, I would think, a worse conductor, right?
I would think that the one with bark
Would be
would be a better conductor, but who knows?
Let's put our theory to test, shall we?
How are we gonna do that?
Bullshit.
All right, let's do the bullshit test.
All right. So we know that bark is the living part of the tree, right?
Okay.
Do you agree with me on that?
I would agree that bark is a living part of the tree. Yes.
Well, bark is the part that conducts water, right, upwards.
Pulls the water up
Yes,
to the
through
tree.
the
Yes.
capillary action.
Yes.
So if there's a tree that got hit by lightning, it's probably more likely that the current would flow where there's water, right? Because it's probably a better conductor than the surrounding organic material.
So all trees have bark. So I think what we're talking about is it the thin, like skin-like bark, or the
like-
thick bark like this tree has that you can kind of rip pieces off as it
So
pulls
like a paper
apart.
birch tree, right? A
Right.
birch tree that has very thin bark,
Right.
probably I would think would be a worse conductor.
I'd agree with that.
Maybe it would be a better conductor because there's less resistance.
I don't know, and there's just
I don't
water
really know.
inside the tree as well.
True.
Less resistance, more water in the tree is accessible because the bark's pretty dry, right?
The bark is dry, but
Because it's the inside.
I mean, with current, it's all about the resistance, right?
Right.
So it depends on.
And wood's not a good conductor.
Wood is a horrible conductor. wood is actually really bad at conducting anything thermal, heat. So you can light wood with a match and it won't burn until it gets to the right temperature because it doesn't conduct heat well.
Right.
So it's horrible at conducting electricity, but it's probably much better when it's wet. So I would think the live tree would definitely be better than the dead tree, which I don't know if that's in frame or not, but
Yeah, I would say the dead tree is not a good conductor of electricity, and
Right.
that if it got hit, it would just light on fire.
right. I would probably think so too. I mean, I think even the live tree would probably catch fire to some degree. I've
Yeah.
actually seen a live tree get hit by lightning before, personally, from about.
I have two, and it did
This
not
far?
catch on fire.
It did not catch on fire, but it had burn marks.
It had burn marks, but it didn't light up.
Right. So if it was dead, it probably would catch fire, I think.
I would agree with that. The audience, all 10 people
if you
can
have any
check the.
All 10 people?
yeah, they
We got
maybe
100 people last time.
that was pretty good viewership last time, almost
Yeah.
100, huh?
I think
Well-
people just wanted us to fall over Niagara Falls.
I think that's true too. They
Yeah,
were just seeing if we
yeah.
were gonna fall, but they can look and see what they think, or maybe
Tell us a story.
tell
If
us
you
a
have any
story.
stories
Put
about-
it in. What do you want us to talk about next time? Maybe we could put that in there. If you
Yeah.
put in something in chat, we'll go with that.
Yep. I have some good ideas, but I also have some horrible ideas, so who knows?
I can verify that some of those ideas are horrible.
Well, I mean, I would hope so, given that we're horrible ways to die.
That's right, horrible.
Horrible?
Okay. I don't have anything else to say.
Neither do I.
All right, bye. To get away from the storm. I don't know. Or run really fast. Fast as lightning.
Run as fast as lightning, or the Flash.
Greased lightning.
Grease lightning,
All right.
for all you musical people out there.
So today we're going to talk a couple things, right?
Are we?
I think one of the ones is a soccer team in
Okay.
is it South Africa?
Somewhere in Africa. I don't remember where.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters because I don't think this story is actually true.
It was never verified.
It's kind of an urban legend, I believe.
Yeah, it was never verified. Let me see if I can.
Would we still call it an urban legend if it's not really in an urban place? Would it be more of like a suburban legend?
Not sure what we would call it,
Country legend?
but I think one thing's for sure. An entire soccer team was supposedly killed by a lightning strike, and the other soccer team walked away unscathed.
Right, and I believe at some point in this story there's something about a priest or voodoo or black magic or something.
Yeah, there was a after it happened, one of the local voodoo guys kind of took credit for it, saying that he wanted his team to win, so he did some voodoo or something.
Well, whoever that was, I'm sure they had money running on that game.
Yeah, but if they were smart, they would have bet that the entire team would be hit by lightning if they were going to put that curse on, right?
Well, if I was a bookie and somebody came up to me and said, I'm going to bet that this whole team gets hit by lightning, what are the odds you're going to give me? I'm going to say something like, yeah, I'm not interested, no thank you. Because something's going on that clearly is not within the normal rules of illegal activity, right?
I would say you're probably right. So it was
Yeah.
1998. It was Bina Sadi versus Bensaga. It was a weird football match. It's considered a weird football match in history.
Mm.
A game to remember.
Well, for at least half the players, the other players don't do anything.
They're
dead.
gone, right? Yeah, they're gone.
Sadly.
So
Was it
the other one was Roy Sullivan,
What
which is
country
a
was it
ranger.
in? Benin?
Let me look. I'll go back. Hold on. Here, take this thing.
Yeah. Not that I would be able to tell you where this country is on the map anyway, but maybe for some people out there that'd actually be curious.
Let's see. It is right here, and it was the Republic of Congo.
Ah, okay, the Republic of Congo. So I did read a little bit about lightning strikes, and actually the Republic of Congo is the actual, I guess, epicenter of lightning strikes in the world. It's the area that has the most, or the highest concentration of lightning strikes in the world. So that at least makes it somewhat more credible, right?
Well, locals began to blame witchcraft and a
Oh.
curse for the deaths, but there's little information available about the incident. When the incident occurred, the entire DRC was engulfed in civil war, and the only report that was available. Okay, so the country was at war,
Yeah.
so there wasn't much news happening other than that war.
Yeah, I mean,
And there was no real report, so the report was never officially confirmed or denied for its accuracy, but it is ranked among the strangest incidents in the history of football.
Well, I feel like happening in the middle of a civil war probably means it didn't happen, right?
Probably not.
Maybe it wasn't lightning. Maybe it was just a mortar shell or something.
Could be.
You never
Could be.
know.
They just blamed it on lightning.
Could have been aliens.
And the other one was Roy Sullivan, born in February of 1912 and died in September of 1983.
But not of lightning.
Not of lightning. Apparently, he was
or
struck
not?
7 times, surviving all of them.
Hmm.
And we were talking earlier in the statistics for something like that to actually occur is 1 in 10 to the 28th power. So that's a lot of zeros after that
It's a
one.
1 with 28 zeros.
Yeah, so that's not really that's over the 80-year lifespan too.
Right.
So the actual odds are over the 80 years is 1 in 10,000 chance of being struck by lightning if you're in a thunderstorm.
So you're saying that on average, 1 in 10,000 people, if they live to be 80 years old, should expect to be struck in some capacity, not necessarily fatally, by lightning.
Yeah, it says that between 1959 and 2000, lightning killed 58 people and injured 238 people in Virginia. So in the United States, it says that 3,239 people were killed and 13,057 were injured by lightning in the same period. Most male,
Yes,
between
over
18 and
90.
20. I wonder if it's because of the higher
From my
iron?
reading into the no, from my reading into it, it has to do with lifestyle. So men are more likely to be outside,
running around.
running around during a storm. Men are also more likely to play sports outside. Men are also more likely to be golfing and to do landscaping work, which is
Right.
where a lot of these events happen, and also construction and other types of works where you're on top of objects. So I believe the statistics show that I think it was 20 people a year die in the United States, and I don't know, several thousand people get hit by lightning. So most lightning strikes are not fatal to people
Right.
because they're mostly glancing blows. You very rarely actually get hit like everywhere.
Right.
So it's usually you're near a high voltage power line and that gets hit, and then it jumps to you. Yeah.
Bounces. Yeah, so the first incident that's documented here is that he was hiding from a thunderstorm in a fire lookout tower, and the tower was new and didn't have any lightning rods installed yet. So
I like to hide in tall metal objects when I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm just to make sure it doesn't look for me, because nobody ever suspects that. Why would lightning suspect that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so fire was jumping all over the place. Sullivan said he'd have to run from location to location to put out these fires, and then he was struck by lightning, which burned a half-inch stripe all along the right side of his leg and down to his toe, and there was a left hole in his shoe there on the left side there. So that was the first incident.
Do you really want to talk about the other 6? I don't.
There's also a rumor that after he died, his grave was struck by lightning.
Oh.
So maybe he was struck 8 times, but that's a rumor as well.
Well, maybe they buried him with some very good conductors.
Maybe he got buried in a metal coffin. Maybe
All metals? No, I guess I don't know.
iron. I don't know.
I haven't been
I'm-
buried, so I don't really know.
I don't know either. I think that they're normally wood. Pine box is what
Pine
they say,
boxes.
right? The cheap one, right? So
I don't know.
maybe he was cremated, and I don't know. How could they hit his grave? Who knows? But it says,
Yeah.
listen, it says he got struck while he was fishing in a freshwater pool.
In
So
a
I guess you got to be
pool.
careful. Don't go fishing in a thunderstorm.
In a freshwater pool or pond?
Freshwater pool. Right here,
Don't go down a hill in flip-flops.
maybe.
Yeah.
This spot.
I hope
Well-
so.
Now we're standing next to a pool of pool of water.
A pool of water. Is it a freshwater pool or a saltwater pool?
Looks like a lot of algae in there. I'm gonna say that it is a freshwater
It doesn't
creek.
look very fresh to me. Looks about the consistency of Mountain Dew right now.
It's definitely a creek, and it definitely has an algae bloom in it.
Yes.
Do you think we'd be hit by lightning because of the algae bloom more or less?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Would the algae change the, electronegativity or charge of the water? Probably not, right?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but I know that if I was holding a metal fishing rod right now and throwing it out into there, I'd have a better chance of being hit, right?
Well, that's a good question. Are most fishing rods metal these days? I think they're mostly fiberglass.
Or bamboo.
Bamboo. What was this,
I got
China?
some old bamboo, like they don't even cast. You just drop them in the water.
I mean-
El Cheapos.
Sure, if you're gonna get on your rickshaw and then drive over to like
For a pond.
for a pond.
Pool?
Anyway, when you're done with that, you could always use it to barbecue and make marshmallows or something.
True.
No, I think you got a point though. I think some of those fishing rods probably have some kind of metal hooks or something, but
They have the metal loops, on the plastic or the carbon fiber or whatever they use.
is carbon fiber or fiberglass any kind of a charger? I mean, it's probably a better conductor than air, I would imagine.
We probably should have been more prepared for this episode with some research on what's best conducting of
I
electricity.
mean, we tried preparing for episodes and they still sucked, so we figured we just save ourselves the time, right?
So we're just winging it, and
Yeah.
I was lazy. I've been really tired. Today I did a lot of activities. It's late in the day.
Sounds like you need some charge in your life.
I need to be
Anybody up there,
recharged.
You need to be recharged? Well, there's some power lines and there's some thunderstorms, so have your pick. So, there's a lot of good data on lightning strikes. The National Oceanic whatever, NOAA, I don't know what the hell it stands for, had a bunch of good pages that I read and I completely forgot, but I remember a little bit. And
Let's go through it.
go through
what do
it.
you remember?
so let me show you these interactive charts here, which
Don't
due to-
exist.
don't exist. But I believe everybody associates lightning strikes with golf and fishing, but I guess around the world, the most common activity to be struck by lightning while doing is
Gardening?
playing football.
Oh, football, not. Oh, okay. Soccer or American football?
I'm assuming they meant football, like normal European football,
European
not
soccer.
our
Like soccer.
football.
So what
Fake
we call
football.
soccer.
Yeah, but would make sense. You're out in a big field, and there's not much around you. And based on our story from the Democratic Republic of Congo, there's apparently some documentation of people getting hit by lightning. So
Yeah. Whole team dead.
whole team. Maybe that actually influenced these statistics. Who knows? But I think, if I remember correctly, it was about 41% of documented lightning strikes were during football games.
So if you're at a football game and it starts to, rain and you think there's a thunderstorm coming, I think the best thing to do is leave and get inside.
Now, what position do you think will get struck the most?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Midfielder?
Goalie?
I would
Goalie?
think goalie, because isn't
The metal pole, maybe it's
Right.
metal and it
I think it's
jumps
metal.
from the metal and hits the goalie.
It's certainly not wood, because it doesn't break when you hit it.
Right, it's probably metal
Some
or
kind of aluminum or something.
yeah, and then it has the netting on it.
Yeah.
But it is taller.
It's taller,
So
and
maybe-
it's directly a point to the ground. So
Maybe it jumps off of that, hits the goalie. But
could it
we'd
be
have
a-
to look that up. I don't know. Look
have
it
no
up.
idea.
Maybe you can find out if you're interested.
yeah, maybe or maybe not.
If you're not interested, who cares, right?
Well, if you're not interested, why are you watching this show anyway? But actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because then the people will just click right off there. Anyway, whatever.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it for today.
As
Do
you
have
can
anything
see,
else?
I don't know. Do we have anything else? I didn't really plan anything or.
I
do
think
anything.
the only thing I can say to be safe in a thunderstorm is get inside.
I was kind of hoping it would be thundering now while we were out here, but apparently it wasn't. So that was as far as I went. I looked at the weather forecast.
It is a little cloudy, but
Yeah.
there's no rain or
Well,
thunder.
apparently lightning can strike up to 20 miles in front of a storm cell. So in other words, it can go out 20 miles.
We should probably go in.
Nah, I should probably stay here and get hit by lightning. Do you think our insurance will cover it?
No,
It's not a workplace accident?
I have no insurance.
Oh. Well, we should probably go then.
All right then. Thanks for watching, and please join us on our next episode, which I'm not sure what it's going to be on yet.
Well, let's worry about getting home first.
All right, and remember, stay safe out there.